Hey guys, welcome back to another RoCitizens video. Today I'm going to be showing you 5 custom window designs that are super cool and you don't need the color pass to make. If you want to know how to make a custom house, make sure to check out my video called How to Make a Custom RoCitizens House. So there are different looks that these windows show, and they can really influence your house theme, so make sure to choose one that's just right for your build and in the right place. Since there's no ability to create glass, you can leave the glass spaces open. We cannot make round windows either, so everything will either be squared or rectangular. Also, if you want to make curtains, definitely do so. They can be made with building blocks as well, and they're super cute for the inside of your house. So let's start with the first window, the sliding window. This is a pretty simplistic window, but it gets the job done. It's pretty small, but you can also double it. So to make the sliding window, you want to get 5 of the same material building block. What I'm choosing for the material is plastic for most of these windows, but you can also use wood as the outlining. So this only takes 2 steps, and let's start with the first step. Let's grab a window, and we'll start with the frame. For the frame, you're going to want to go to 0.1 because we aren't going to make this super even. We're going to flatten it down, and then we're going to have like a 0.1 overhang over both sides. And then we're going to make the sides of the frame. And we're going to have it also with the overhang, and then we're going to make it too thick. We're also going to make the bottom one into the building block so that it gives it a bit of a look. Now that we finished the frame, we're going to move on to the step 2, which is the cross. This you only need 1 plastic or a wood. It can be 2 wide. It doesn't need to be in the middle. A lot nicer if it isn't, I would say. Then you can put it there. And boom! You have your sliding window. The second design I have is the bay window. This is the hardest window to make, but I assure you it's really cute, especially for some traditional houses or family houses. So for this, you're going to want 14 plastic and then 2 wood, or you can change the wood for whatever material you're using as the roof. There are 4 steps to this, so make sure to pay attention. So before we make the frame, you want to put down a little block. This does not count in any of the 16 blocks. You want to put it down right here. And then you want to make it bigger by 3. Let's start with the first one, which is the frame. What you want to do is have it by the 0.2. And then you want to make it 2 by 2, but over the block. And then make it as tall as the little gap. The gap can be as big as you want it to be. I made it a bit smaller because I don't really want a ginormous window. And then you do the same thing on the other side. And then for the other part of the frame, this gets a bit tricky because normally with bay windows, it's curved. But since we can't do this, we're going to be moving things a bit. So we're going to want to make this 4 smaller, and then we still want to do the 2 by 2 part right here. And then you want to size it up to as big as the other columns, and then you want to do the exact same thing on the other side. So go down 4, make it 2 by 2, and then size it up. The other part of the frame is a part that we have to make angled. This is a bit tricky, but I assure you it's not super hard. So you want to go to the 15 rotate increment and then turn it a bit as far as you want to. And then I'm going to make it a 2x2 still. And then I want to put it in the middle of this. Even though it shows up red, you want to find a way so that you can fit it in. And then do the same thing for the other side. And then also do it for the top of the build. And then this is the easier side where you just want to do it straight and make it 2x2 still. And then do the top as well. Step 2 is to make the crosses. You don't need this part right here at the bottom. We'll be making another part right there later. But the only cross that you have to make is the one right here. And it can be 2x2. Right here in the middle. And then we go on to step 3, which is making the bottom base right here. I want to put this part right here. And then I want to size it down. It's okay if it hangs out under the window, because if you put blocks right here, it'll just clash into these blocks and it won't allow that, which is sad, but it's okay. You can always size the seat to be the same color as the wall so it blends in a bit more. But don't have too much hanging out. And then let's add another block right here. And then size it down a bit more so it's a bit more concealed. And then we'll do that on the other side as well. And boom, let's go into step 4, which is the roof. So for this roof, I'm just going to be using the wood. And then I'm going to size it down to be too tall. And then have a bit of a hang also over this. In the front as well. 2 over. And then I'm going to have a bit of a hat looking roof right here. And then make it smaller by 2 on every side. And boom, there's your bay window. Next, we're going to be looking at the traditional window. This only requires 6 plastic, although it does look really intense to make. It's really cool and it has a really nice style to it. So let's start with step 1, which is making the frame. So for this, you're going to want to go into point 1. Then you're going to want to size it so that there's only a little hang, and then size it there. And then there's your bottom frame, and that's what you want to do for the top, except make it a bit taller. Then we'll be working on the side platforms, which you don't need to have going into the wall. And they'll be 2x3. And then you make it taller, and then you do the exact same thing on the other side. Then we go to step 2, which is making the crosses. So for this, you're only gonna need 3 blocks, and what you want to do is split it up into thirds. Now you don't have to be super precise about this. I recommend going into 1 as your sizing, and then size it like so. And that looks pretty good, although it does look a little bit thick. You can always thin out the crosses. But then the last part of this, we want to put it maybe a bit at the top. And then we want to size it down so that's 2 by 2. Then we want to move it 0.1 so it's in the middle still. But then we want to move it down just a little bit. And then boom, you have your traditional window. This window is the modern window. It doesn't look like much, but it really makes the house look very modern, and I have it in my modern custom house video. That was one of my first custom houses. Make sure to check that out if you haven't already. But this requires only 4 metal, and you can always use plastic, but metal gives it a bit more of a modern feel. The only step to this is making the frame. And you want to just go into 0.1 and then size it down all the way and have a little bit of a overhang right here. And then you want to grab another block and then do a side column right there. And then have it by 2. And then have it all the way up. And then do the same column on the other side. And then for the last part of the frame, what you want to do is make the top part. There's your modern window. For the last window design, we have a barn window. For this, you need 6 plastic or 6 wood to make. It's a lot like the traditional window, except it only has 2 crosses. There's 2 steps for this, which is number 1, making the frame. Let's start with that. And we're going to be using plastic for this. And remember, there's going to be a little overhang for the top and bottom parts. 0.1 overhang on the edges, and then we make that bigger, and then we move this. Then we're gonna want to move this a bit, and then the columns, we'll do these. These do not have a hang into the wall. We make the other side the same thing. And boom, we're done with the frame. So next we go on to step 2, which is the crosses. For this, basically you want to just go into 1 and then move it to the middle, basically. Kind of like this as the middle. And then you don't want to have that overhang right there. You want to make it 2 by 2 and then put it through the middle, and then grab another one, put this in the middle, and then make that as well 2 by 2. But have it in the middle as well. And boom. And boom, there's your barn window. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you all had an amazing day. Make sure to like and subscribe. We are absolutely so close to 1,000 subscribers. That is so awesome. Thank you guys so much. If you haven't subscribed, make sure to check the subscribe button. And have a great day. Bye.